What is up, guys?
What is up, famous? How you doing, bro?
Chilling, man. Chilling. Staying ready. Counting down the days, man.
Right?
Trying to sleep properly. I know everyone's tripping.
What's happening, Crypto CPT? Just saying hi to everybody. We got everybody coming back in. We just got done. I just got done doing a stream with Lit. I don't know if you remember Lit. He's
Lit Gains, yeah, of course.
Yeah. He's back on the streaming scene and wanted to come in and say, hey, really like that guy. His energy is freaking toxic. His energy is just.
He's very positive.
Boom.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. It's what we need right now, man. We need like an overload and overdose of positivity, I think.
It's time. It's time to get up off our asses and get motivated again because, the bear market, it was hard. It was hard to, keep things exciting, keep things going. But we did it. And talk game theory, talk tax, talked life in general. And hopefully everybody got their fill of all that bullshit because it's time. It's about go time. I think that the Pulse Chain could launch any moment now. I was thinking we might end up seeing it while I was out here in Vegas. I'm in Vegas right now, so yeah.
Don't keep buying crypto. Don't think about them slot machines, even though they're shiny.
I I don't gamble. It's not my thing. I don't.
That's good to know. Same like me, man. Same like me. We got a lot in common, man. A lot of things people don't know, but yeah, I'm the same thing, man. I don't gamble at all. I hate that shit.
Yeah, I used to play dice, when I was younger. I used to love the dice and some cards, but anymore, man, it just doesn't float my boat. It's not fun anymore.
Yeah. Poker with friends is fun though. Poker with friends is fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Especially when you guys get drunk. I like it when you guys get drunk and I take all your
Nah, you're like one of my friends. Every time he comes in and plays poker, I'm like, hey, I'm out. Too bad. I always fold when he's in.
It's always the sober guy that gets you, man. Because
there's always that one guy, man. But he's not sober. It's that one guy that just always racks everyone in. He's just like everyone's just like, nah, we're not playing if he's playing. We're not playing if he's playing. There's always that one guy. But yeah, man, it's funny.
Yeah.
Fuck, a lot to talk about, man. We haven't done this. We had the cruise. First of all, let's get into that before we get into all the stuff that people want to know. How was the cruise? You probably already talked about it, but for those who don't know, how was the cruise?
So the cruise was absolutely amazing. I went to the very first Hex meetup. It was myself, Dollar Cost Crypto, Brissology, Crypto Vince, and who else was there? Can't quite remember. There was one other guy there, but we just met in a park, had a little chat. That was cool. Shook each other's hand, high five, boom, went home. That was cool. And then we started having these bigger meetups, and we started having the Vegas events and stuff, and our conventions, and the relationships started building. And this community was already strong and smart and connected, and single focus functioning or single focused, and it just solidified those relationships, got stronger. This last trip, me and Axis really freaking hit it off. It's just, we've always been friends, but really now we're like close friends, and same with the others that are on the ship that with us. It just builds those relationships, and when you start standing next to people like that, arm in arm, like nothing can stop you. When you've got the knowledge behind you, when you've got the product behind you, when you've got the community behind you, and when you've got your friends standing next to you, man, nothing can break that. That's like, it's solid. So that's what the cruise was for me, was just a solidification of the relationships. It was a lot of fun. Getting new Hexicans there and seeing their eyes open for the first time, seeing everybody and hanging out. That was a lot of fun. And then just chilling, and having my family there. It was really cool, man. It was really, really cool.
Man, I'm a bit jealous. But I'm gonna get my little cruise next week. I'm gonna be in Spain, so I gotta go close one of the Spain apartment. Go sign for it. So I'll have a little week off too. So hopefully it doesn't launch. Something doesn't fork again while I'm in Spain. That'd be hilarious. 2 for 2. Last time I was the ETH fork. So yeah, it's pretty funny. I remember I was mid in the car, like, yo, let me do this on my laptop. Anyways, it was funny as fuck. But man, we have so much to talk about. I've done some updates to my websites in order for people to have better access. I think right now, it's wonderful, all this like talk and all this fun and all this uh, nonsense, yeah, I think people need to get back on track with what's important. So I've helped and I've added some stuff to my website, so hexdirect.com and cryptotolearn.com, so people could go ahead and practice. When you're on the test net, you can use the quick links that I've provided in the websites. I posted 2 tweets on Twitter, so whoever's on Twitter, go check that out. It shows you the updates. Long story short, on hexdirect.com, I added the Block Explorer for V4. I added the Pulse X DApp for V4. Now the new DApp, you're able to go ahead and what's it called? You're able to save it. So right now I'm actually looking at my taskbar and it's actually saved. So whenever I need to go on the Pulse X DApp, it's an app. It's like I saved it as if it's like, the Google browser. So that's pretty cool. That's an add-on. The next thing I did is I added the UI links from Hedron that Alex created. So like that, if ever anyone needs to go ahead and access any chain with Hex, there's probably going to be the access with that through the Uniswap router. I know we won't need that on Pulse Chain, but for anything else, it's there. Also, I added ethhex.com. So if anyone wants to utilize ethhex.com, the script, the UI is integrated in both websites. So you could directly, like, I don't know why Hexikins who have a website don't integrate that. It's wonderful. It's on hex.com. You could integrate it and it does the same job. It's very easy. It's like 2 lines of code. Like it's a script. It's really easy. Shouts out to them for making that. And I added the fiat ecosystem to cryptotolearn.com. So now you got Hex, Hedron, Maxi, and the fiat ecosystem. And whoever else is out there, the reason why I maybe not have put you on there is because I really feel like these are helping utilization and utility for Hex, and they already are live, and it's not testnet. So once everyone's not on testnet, we'll add you one by one. So shouts out to everyone. If there's any comments, please let me know, guys. And I'll show you. We'll talk a bit more because I really want to show people why it's important to know where to go on the Block Explorer, why it's important to know what to do on the DApp, how do you get, what's the, oh my God, we have so much stuff to talk about. But yeah, let's go ahead and break it down, man. Too much to talk about.
Yeah, let's go. I've been in there poking around a little bit, but I've steered clear of all of the testing. Now is the time, obviously, to be this is the final test net. This is it. This is basically mainnet is what you're looking at right now. So learning it, knowing it, and being involved in the practicing is what you need to do now. So let's talk about that for a little bit.
Yeah, for sure, man. There's definitely, obviously, the easiest one is swapping. Then the easiest one is swapping. I think the number one most important thing that Hexikins need to consider is the RPC. How to verify your RPC, if it's the proper RPC, not to rely on just to click a button. And I know, the DApp has it, which is cool. It's better like that, but I would still allow people to go ahead and practice your RPC change. So maybe delete it and manually do it yourself. Obviously we have the stream. I'm going to be editing it, so I'll add like the RPC settings on the website too, so people can go ahead and practice and go delete it. And people, I have so much shit to do. I wish I had all the time to make videos. I hope people can go ahead and, I forget who it was, but they did a really good video explaining how to change the RPC settings. So I'm going to probably edit that in the new to crypto Git book. There's no excuses, guys. If you're onboarding, if you're being onboarded, if you're practicing, if you need links, everything's on my 2 websites available for you. Now, the reason why I'm saying it's available is because on the Block Explorer, you have the links for everything. So what can we do? Why do we say it's mainnet? Well, you can bridge. You can check validators. You can do swaps. You can check the development, meaning that other contracts are being utilized, right? So we can go on Fiat. You can go on Fox. You can go on PHamous. You can go on Hedron. You could utilize all these other contracts, all these other protocols that are on testnet, you know, Power City, I think, and Liquid Loans. You could utilize all these testnets, and you can utilize all these things in development. What's the difference? It just has no value. You have the bridge. You could bridge from Sepolia back to Pulse Chain back to Sepolia. Should try that, practice that, get used to it. What I mean by that is there's going to be transactions, and it's not about the amount. It's about understanding the process. So if it's the first time you're doing it, you won't understand why you need to approve, and send, and then approve, and then claim. So you need to go ahead and get used to that in order to then, on the spot, you don't freak out when it's actually one shot and you hit or miss. Because if you fuck up, you fuck up. That's your problem. There's no customer service. Hopefully there will be, but there probably isn't. So that's why it's important to practice. And also it's important because there's a lot of things that you need to get used to. The Block Explorer is different. You know, if you're validating, which is a very hard job to do, obviously Hexicans have made it easy. Shout out to them. But you still need to go practice. I'm not gonna be content until people have new wallets. I'm not content until people understand the RPC, understand what the risks are about connecting right away by not listening and waiting for Richard to connect. Like it's a whole, it's like a grouping of everything put together. And it's like what Papa Boner says is like, you just do the right thing and nothing's gonna happen. You know what I mean? So I think it's important.
Yep. And sometimes the right thing is doing nothing.
There's always something to do, though. I don't like that answer, RGN, and I'll explain to you why. Because nothing means you don't do anything. And that's not good because there's always something to do. The number one key is security. So you always make sure you're getting your security right. So what people should be doing now is creating a wallet. If you're getting copies, maybe move all your stuff into a wallet. Maybe separate. If you have too much, because right now gas is expensive. If it costs too much to take away the approvals, forget about that. Send the ERC20. It's one of the cheapest things you could do, right? If you want to buy stuff, do limit orders. You could change it into wrapped ETH. It's a very cheap transaction. You won't have to pay $30, $40. You know, if you could use CowSwap, you could use the limit orders. I think Match. I haven't used Match, but I'm just saying it's important to get everything going because there's so many ways that people could just be like, oh, I don't want to do it. But like you're going to remove options when there's multiple ways of doing things. So yeah,
So let's talk about that real quick. Just, I know you went in depth there, but let's talk about, creating a new wallet and what's the importance of that. You've sacked out of one wallet. Mm-hmm. You've exposed yourself to, who knows what other dApps out there, whatnot. One of the things you might want to go do is go into your MetaMask and look at all of the permissions that you've given to that wallet and go and clear those out and get those cleaned up. Make sure you don't have any dirtiness there. And then, like PHamous said, make a new wallet so that you can move your SAC coins into that wallet right away and have them secured in a new wallet. And what I like to do is I use my hard wallet. I'm a Trezor guy. I use a Trezor. I use my hard wallet to create my seed words. And that's where and then my seed words have never been on a computer. They're always in they've always been created or generated from my device. And that's how I operate. I hear there's a new wallet out there it's pretty good. I haven't dipped into it yet, but somebody just sent it to me and says it's really cool. But I'm not going to mention it yet, but there's some other interfaces that you can use with your hardware wallets now other than MetaMask. So, but if you do have a MetaMask and you do interface with it, get everything off of your old wallet, put it onto a new wallet, make sure that wallet has generated the keys outside of MetaMask and they've never touched MetaMask, and then reopen a new instance of MetaMask, one that hasn't been connected to anything, and connect your Pulse and your PulseX Sacrifice wallet to a new instance if you're going to do anything, if you even need to do anything. A lot of people should probably just hold.
Yeah, it's important for people to get that straight right away, because if you wait to do it, it's time wasted.
Yep.
It's time wasted that if you are in trouble, you're probably going to get fucked. So we don't want to cause, excuse my language, we don't want to cause people to go crazy, but I think it's important to take those, rather be safe than sorry. And for those who don't have a hardware wallet, listen, the $80 is you're paying for an extra layer of security. Now, if you think it's too much, divide it by 24 months. Take the $80 and divide it by 24 months in case you use it for 2 years, right? Now, for that amount so for 80 divided by 24, which is like $3 almost, like let's just say $3.50, right? Or $4. $4 a month, you have an extra layer of security, and you have an unlimited amount of wallets that have that layer of security. That layer of security is derived offline, and that security is, like I said, an extra layer of security where, it's much easier to not do mistakes, right? Now you're able to create as many MetaMasks and as many profiles as you want on a computer in order to have different types of settings, different type of profiles, and it's good to be organized, just like it's good to have a wallet just for swaps, just like it's good to have a wallet just for stakes, like it's good to just have a wallet for LPs. Why? Because you're minimizing your risk of vectors of attack. And when you tell someone why buy the cheaper hardware wallets, is because the cheaper hardware wallet, you're just paying for the extra layer of security. You're not paying for Bluetooth. You're not paying for a touchscreen. You're not paying for all these extra vectors, in my opinion, of attack. Why? Well, because the more things you could do with it, the more it's a vector of attack, right? So if you put all your concentration on one wallet, you're creating more vectors of attack. Why? Well, because everything you do with everything you're doing, you need to be careful. So as long as you minimize your vectors of attack, meaning that you separate what you're doing, that would be better. Because what happens if you do make a mistake? At least you better be safe than sorry. And yeah, like I said, if we're just talking like this, there's always something to do, right? Mm-hmm. If you're already good on security, what can you be doing, right? We're all DCAing. I actually wanted to talk about something, because while everyone's doing these ratio trades, right? And while everyone is scared about, am I going to get a good deal or not?
One last thing I'd like to point out on security and your wallet and moving your new coins into a new wallet. It was just mentioned here by Crypto Compassion that he sends a small test transaction first. You should always send a small test transaction, especially when you're moving large amounts of coins. Send a test transaction first. Make sure that it's working. You've got your ducks in a row, and then then send your amounts over.
I agree.
And maybe
that's a very good point.
2 or 3, if depending upon how much you have. If you've got billions of tokens or whatever, send them in batches. It's worth it to not lose everything in one shot. If you mistake.
That is a very good point. Very good point. There's so many points, right? In order to keep it very good. Good job, Compassion. Thank you, sir. So I was, what was I saying? There's so much stuff. So why, there's always something to do. And right, if you're scared to do ratios and you're not sure, right? I'm 100% sure Richard's going to be streaming. So he'll get your mind off of that. Next, we will have the spaces open. Either we're listening to Richard, or we're going to be assisting, answering questions and doing analysis and looking at ratios and screaming, don't fucking do it, or fucking do it right now, you sick motherfucker, it's crazy. It's either going to be one or the other, right? But we will be guiding people and allowing people to come and ask good questions, not the generic, how do I get my tokens? Figure that out. Like, you had fucking 1.5 years to understand how to get your tokens. We're not going to spend time on people, the dumb questions. Like if the person is new, like we might spend a bit more time, but if you're an existing person, I'm telling you on the chat, if you're an existing person and you are coming up with a dumbass question that you had 1.5 years to prepare, trust me, you're going to get the go here, Go figure it out yourself. Right now, we need to answer new questions, new people that have no fucking clue, that didn't have a year and a half of helping. Because we're going to have so many people coming up saying, what Pauls, what's the thing, what's this? So we need to focus on what's really important, making sure everyone is secure, everyone understands what they're doing, and everyone understands what's happening, right? But now, what is the one thing that is for sure that's going to happen that no one can outfund this? T-shares. The T-share today is cheaper than it is tomorrow. Therefore, if tomorrow's the fork, then today is cheaper to get your T-share now than it is tomorrow. And when the fork happens, you could bet your fucking ass it's going to go much higher. So the one thing I would suggest people to do is in the first 48 hours, there's wonderful ways for you to acquire before people go ham, do their daily stakes, do their EES, mint their good accounting. There's always something for you to do, right? If you have HSIs, if you've planned your HSI stakes and you want to separate them into your new wallets, it's a good time to do that, right? You're getting a copy. What are you doing with your copy? How are you going to set that up? Like RG said, with your sacrifices, what are you going to do with that? There's so many things for you to do that if you don't want to ratio trade, I'm sorry, RG, but I don't want to hear nobody talk about nothing. That nothing is just the easy way out. We all know what we need to do. There's always something to do. For the first hour, everyone has something to do. Everyone that has something to do has something to do. The people obviously did nothing. They didn't sacrifice. They didn't do this. They didn't prepare their ERC20s. And they're like, yeah, I got $300. How do I do this? You know, obviously those people, there's nothing to fucking do until the bridge opens. But for everyone who's been in here for a year, that has been planning this, please figure out the proper things to do at the beginning. There's always something to do. Do what is important, security, and prepare your setup. Don't have a table filled with papers and work and stuff. Maybe don't call in sick now, call in sick then. Get your mind right. Get your station right. Get your computer right. Right? Make sure your Wi-Fi is good. I don't care. There's always something you could do. Get comfortable because this is a one-shot opportunity. You might get a good deal. You might not, but might as well be prepared because, like I said, there's always something to do. So I don't want to hear it. I don't like hearing people say, I'm sorry, but there's something to do. And we have a responsibility to explain that because if we could do something now on testnet, then there's something to do as soon as it launches. You know what I mean?
No, you're right. You're right. And what I meant by that was that some people might not want. I know there's a lot of people that are very anxious and think that they have to do something, that they have to do some ratio trading or something. And that's not necessarily the case. We don't know what's going to happen. And exactly. A lot of times we see big dumps when things like this launch. So I just want to prepare everybody to not get themselves wrecked and to be cautious and to sit back and just kind of chill. And for those of you who have your plan and have your ratio trades ready to go, more power to you, man. I know that there are enough people out there that are smart enough that have it figured out what they want to do and have gamed the system. But to be completely honest, ain't nobody knows shit. So
100%. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen.
Those people are risk takers and they've evaluated their risk and they're good to go. But if you're confused at all, if you're anxious, if you're worried and you don't know what you're doing, man, just the best thing to do is sit on your hands for a little bit, watch what's going on, listen to everybody. And like he said, Richard's gonna get out there and stream. And when he streams, he's gonna be spreading the alpha. He's gonna tell us. He always does. He always hints to us what it is that we should be doing. So be looking for that. Make sure you listen to Richard. And there's going to be a bazillion podcasts out there talking about Pulse Chain and what's going on and what to do over the next, it's going to be nonstop, and it's going to be nonstop excitement, and you'll be able to figure out what it is that you're supposed to do. But maybe making a move on day one isn't necessarily anything you need to do, because a lot of people were warned about that on Big Payday, or when the adoption amplifier launched, and boom, a bunch of people got wrecked. Because it took a big crash. So anyway.
They would have kept it, but whatever. It's debatable. It's not the best they could have got, but anyways, it's okay.
They still did good. Don't get me wrong.
They did still did, yeah, you know what I mean. So like sometimes
they did okay, even with the big run up. They did okay.
I think there's an element of greed that people just need to realize that like you're good, just chill, relax. It's okay. There's enough TVs to go around on Black Friday and Walmart. Let's Xmart. Let's go. So I can't wait, man. I can't wait for liquidity. I've been looking at testnet. I've been looking at like the incentive token contract. I'm looking at like possibilities coming up with like some beautiful FUD, right? To get people to go and look and like, oh, look at this address it created. It's on Jorly. It's doing this, and I just like, it's real stuff, right? I get people to go on, but it makes them practice to go and look, right? And, that incentive token looks pretty fucking cool. We have a burn mechanism with that. So that's something that's really awesome. What really fascinates me, and I know it's normal, but all the contracts are kind of written for Ethereum. So it makes me think like, why wouldn't PulseX be on Ethereum? But that's obviously we don't know. I like thinking. So it's like, why wouldn't it be able? I really do think that there will be massive opportunity when that bridge opens. It will have massive opportunity for price parity. And what I mean by not price parity, price, what's the word? Price discovery. Sorry. Price discovery is going to occur. And some people are going to gain a bit off of it due to the slippage. So the higher, the smaller people might really get good deals. I would still be careful, but I'm thinking, I know that this is going to be very liquid. And wow, does PulseX that work so well? The info, the everything's there. It looks like Uniswap. You have so much stuff to do, man. I am so bullish. Like everything just works so fucking nice, man. And it's man, it's just so nice to see that people actually give a shit about how fluidity, how it looks, how it acts, how it like. It's just nice to see a good fucking product. All these other mainnets are scrap. They don't work. You can't do this. You can't do that. I've done this my whole fucking career in cryptos. Shit never used to work, and it always was like, okay, we're gonna come out with an update. But now it's like, wow, look at this, and yeah, man, I don't want to sound too much like a bullish guy, but I'm really bullish right now. Just by the product, not I don't care about prediction. The price is gonna be whatever, man. The price is gonna do whatever it's gonna do. I'm bullish on the product, man. The product is beautiful.
Possibly the most exciting L1 to have ever hit crypto. I mean, this is exciting, man. I mean, and we're in at the beginning. And look at the rise. Look at the X's that all of these L1s have done. I mean, this thing is gonna go. The testnet looks great. It is fluid. It works good. And once people get a hold of that, I like to call it like crypto crack, man. Once they get those low fees and you can start moving stuff around and trading, and it doesn't cost you anything. It's just micro pennies, and you can just start doing things, and before you know it, you're like, you've spent nothing. Like on Ethereum, you got to like be cautious of making a stupid fucking transaction, right? I mean, it's like, holy shit, how much is this going to cost me? Oh shit, I got to unstake. On Pulse Chain, it's going to be like, I remember the first.
They don't understand. I don't think people get it.
No, nobody, because people have.
They don't get it. Everything could be done on it. Everything we doing, and it will be. It's like, I don't think people will understand what they can do. Like they've said, oh, I wish I could do it, but now that they're gonna get it, they're gonna be like, how many do I do?
And you keep your gains. Now, something you said earlier that's important to discuss here is the T-shares, and how inexpensive. Now we got to understand those are inexpensive dollar wise. They're still going to be hex wise. They're going to cost hex. But if you're dry powdering into this thing, or if you're bringing other value into this thing, your T-shares are cheap. Those T-shares are going to be cheap. And that's going to be the GOAT move there. That and those damn HSI stakes. Those HSI stakes are at a bargain right now. And I think probably people hate influencers talking about it because they're scooping them up right now. And somebody told me, well, yeah, but they're all 15-year stakes and da 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 da. I'm like, but wait a minute. What if you hold it for 5 years and Hex is at 20, 30, 100, 200, $350? Hey, well, maybe you can cash one of those out and not worry about it too much, right? So, you know what I mean? You can early end stake.
Oh, I know. I've been saying it. I'm like, yo, you want 50% off, 60% off, 70% off, 95% off?
It's a bargain, man. It's a bargain. And I've been looking at it and going, man, this is some cool stuff here. People have an opportunity right now. This last couple months has been an opportunity for people who didn't get to SAC or didn't get early Hex. The bargain basement price of Hex being at 90% discount is like, first of all, that should be, everybody should be like kicking themselves in the ass for not buying, 4 and 5 cent Hex whenever it hit down there. Because once it starts going, once this whole thing starts taking off, man, those prices are going to be gone. They're going to be gone.
Pulse chain is going to be gone, man. That T-shirt price on Pulse chain is going to be
quick. It's going to go quick.
So wait, it's going to be easier for you to stake, meaning that you could take more Hex because to stake, you think there's going to be more Hex available?
Well, you're going to get a lot of quick stakes now. So because you can unstake for low fees, you're going to have people staking for months all the time now. You're going to have a lot of early stakers, I think, that are going to utilize that tool to take big bags and try and make gains every month. Now you're losing as you're doing that, but I think that there's people that want to play that game, and that's going to ratchet the T-share price up really, really quick because of all that. Well, I don't know how fast it's going to.
I think people really underestimate the ability to ratchet up. Like if you're a big entity, the ability to ratchet up the T-share price at a percentage that is greater than how you would receive it in gains. Because what happens is that the big boys, and I'm not going to say too much because, they don't like it when I speak because whatever. I guess I'm like the Robin Hood of Hex. But, the big boys don't want a good account because their competition is still in line. So when they good account, the competition, which has a better position because they finished before, is going to need to get all that rewards that they end up. So when that guy gets out, they're going to get it. But what's really amazing is that on Pulse Chain, the next guy, the best thing to do is get the T-share price and compound that, because even though it's good accounted, you're going to always get more. So you're making it harder and harder and harder and harder and harder, but you want it to go up because the price is just going to go bonkers. And then it's wow, it's going to be, I think it's going to be incredible. And the HSIs are going to be really utilized because now it's like you were getting 60 to 90% off T-shares. So then why, and then why wouldn't, and I see Crispy there. Yo, Crispy, I love that fucking video you did about as soon as it goes and people are going to be able to good account all those shares. I'm so excited. I was so happy that someone finally actually had something else besides price prediction, man, talk about, because fuck, it's very important for people to understand that. Because when people realize that T-shares don't exist. T-shares don't exist. This idea of T-shares is bonkers because why don't you talk about 1,000 B shares or 1 million M shares? We don't. It's a representation of time, where time, is it an hour? Is it a day? Is it a second? It's not existent. It's something that we've created in order to categorize or quantify something. What it actually is your transaction on a blockchain. You did utilize the function, and then it goes against the total supply. So you lock that in, then you get a percentage of your proportion on the daily of that, because that's how much your Hex has been inflated. So now what happens is that when you're in a place where it's easier to do these transactions and build up this rate, you're going to get a reward that is going to be rarer It's going to be rarer because it's harder for someone to get these T-shares. And it's going to be expensive because we could create a ratio. And the ratio is like, well, if you have everything, you could dump it. Yes, but it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with where does the value come from? And I feel like Ethereum and Pulse Chain is going to have, they're going to help each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the good accounting is going to allow the boys to fuck with each other. Now, us, the smaller guys, when we realize that you lock in right now T-shares, the T-shares are being utilized by other components, right? So when we realize that, yeah, you're getting 60 to 90% off T-shares right now, well, why don't you just, and that's a bid, why don't you make the 60% and we sell it on OpenSea for 10 to 30% discount? You just made a 30% gain on your Hedron. So it's like, you clutch it, you get it. Now you could put it on the market and give it a price as an NFT. Now, this utilization of the send and receive of these T-shares is going to give so much value, because when you realize it's like, well, how are we evaluating the Hedron burn? Well, we're evaluating it at a cost, right? So shouts out to Alex for what he did. And if people don't know, there is a new way on app.icosa.pro to verify the values. How worth it is it? What are you getting in Icosa? What are you getting with Hedron? That Icosa is a sleeper. People need to realize this. Icosa's rarity goes up as the T-share goes up. So nothing we can do to Icosa will make it rarer except us utilizing Hex. So the rarer Hex gets, the rarer it will be for you to mint Icosa. So the Icosa is a representation of Icosa is staking. Hedron is given for staking, right? It is a representation of what you get in shares, right? So it's a denomination in shares, but the Icosa is your actual, like, in my opinion, it's not even about the shares, it's about the burn. It's about how much are you giving out, right? You can only give out that much if you're at that level, right? Or that T-share rate. So that T-share rate can only give you that much Icosa. So in the future, when it's 150,000 Hex per T-share, well, that 250 Icosa or that 80 Icosa is worth 150 fucking Hex stake. So that shit's going to be bonkers. It's literally an asset that people could utilize. And then, Hedron, like 100 million Hedrons buying you a T-share now. Imagine later on.
Yep.
People are going to short Hex. That's going to make the whales buy it.
The maturing of this system is going to be freaking incredible to watch and to be part of. I mean, you can almost screw it up and not screw it up because you're sitting in such a good spot.
If there's something. Oh, sorry.
No,
I thought I'm glitching. Sorry, I thought you were done.
Currently, I wanted to read what Crispy said. Currently, when restaking, you have to increase your day 30 to 300% to get the same T-shares. It's crazy doing the same to Hedron and Icosa. Yep, it's your level of re-entry. For those who do stake short, you end up losing out. Staking longer is definitely the plan, and then being able to wait those stakes out and then create staking ladders that you can restake on the other side of, so that you don't have to pull those funds out anytime soon, is really the way to go, because now you're pulling mature stakes out and you're having something left over to restake, because you always want to keep restaking. You're always going to want to keep restaking.
Crispy, I really like that, because there's something, I don't know if you've realized, but I think there's a play. We're not really utilizing it a lot now because there's not that much coming back in or being created in the auctions. We're just burning and we're not really like utilizing anything, in my opinion. But when we do, there's a certain play right now where if I take a 555, okay, sorry, no, let me rephrase that. If I take a certain amount of Hex and I go stake it for 2-3 years, it gives me a certain amount of T-shares, which will eventually for 2-3 years only give me like 30 to 35% yield about, right? It's going to give me about that, maybe a bit more. But when we look at, if I were to take that same hex, not put it for 3 years, put it for 15 years, then currently trade that for ICOSA, my yield is dramatically going up. So now I think we're getting about 25 to 30 or 40% yield per 90 days on the daily. So I don't know if it's going to end up being that much, but right now, as I'm monitoring certain stakes, I think one of them is like a 10 or 12-day-old stake, and we're averaging about 25 to 35% APY, I think. I just have to go recheck the numbers, but it's around that. So if we were to take that 4 times and compound that, we would maybe double, triple the yield. Therefore, Hex would have to technically not be 3 times more valuable. It would have to outperform the appreciation of ICOSA by 3 times. Now, that's really hard, in my opinion, right now, as we were finding a certain price. I'm pretty sure ICOSA is going to do very well. I'm 100. If Hex does well, it's impossible ICOSA is not going to do well. There's going to be a crazy opportunity to just, if not. So I think it's going to follow. And when that follows, we're going to realize that, like, oh, maybe it is smart to do these ICOSA, because the ICOSA gives me 2 yields. It's like a Hex stake, where the ICOSA, you could take it, put it into Hex. So that's buying power for Hex. Well, not really, but it's a ratio buying power for Hex. And then the Hedron is basically, well, what would I have gotten if I'd done a stake? So you're technically on the same path if you utilize the liquidities. And right now, I think with Mainnet, our liquidities are all fucked. I think our liquidities are going to come back together when everything gets settled down, when the dust settles. And when the dust settles, we're going to have crazy liquidity, because no one can do anything now. Now, the best deal is, it's like not even Hedron. Hedron does. It's like they don't want the price to go too up. Why? Well, because you're going to burn less. Right now, we're doing a very good burn. We're burning like 20. We're burning like what, 15 to 20 times the minting. So we would need to mint 15 times more than we're burning at this rate in order for it to be even. Right now, we're deflationary like crazy. So if we continue like this, we're gonna slowly stop that deflation, because it's 100 million is gonna be a lot. Like
reflection of what Mainnet is going to actually do. I think that this is testnet, and that it's skewed right now. I think that the numbers and everything is skewed.
Yeah, obviously the numbers are skewed, but
it's an indicator of what direction everybody is wanting to go and what direction it will go. But it is skewed right now.
Yes, but there's the opportunity.
No, the mechanics are there.
There's the opportunity of having no value removed. So like Pulse Chain could be so fucking liquid because our value is derived by a stable pair, a very liquid pair, stable, where no matter how much you take out, trade, or take out of the Pulse Chain, it doesn't matter, because it is massively reflected on where most of liquidity is derived from, where most of the Oracle's liquidity and price prediction, or not price prediction, what the fuck am I saying? Where the price discovery is, right? So if we can, well, it's going to be less volatile. We're going to go up and down, but we would be able to provide, like on testnet, billions of dollars. But it's not really billions. It's just, if you take the price and you look at how much there is, there's billions of dollars, but that's liquid. Having the more liquid a pool is, means that more of the percentages in it, more of the total supply. So if it becomes profitable for us to liquidity provide, because we're doing so many trades, because it's so much cheaper, it's so much faster, we have people able to build and develop on it, do transactional utility, forget about it, guys. This is going to be... have so much fucking liquidity, and it has nothing to do with value. There's no value in crypto. It's just a bunch of dominoes that people, this is this, then it just comes. So if that's the case, well, let's just create a stable. I don't know. They already know what they're doing, so I don't know. You guys know what you're doing.
Yeah, they do.
They 100% know what they're doing. I'm just so excited because the little guys need to stop focusing on the pleb talk. They talk about price and prediction. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. It's disgusting. It's like price. Like, what do you? All that people could talk about is when Paul's chain. Okay, so they have their little theories on when Paul's chain, and then what do they talk about? Price prediction. Ain't that some fucking dog shit? No, excuse my language, because I'm really pissed at Hexagons right now. We are here. We need to thrive for this. If we're here, we're at the top. Where we're gonna stay at the top? That's not winners. Winners pass their level. They surpass it. You think Michael Jordan stayed at where he was? No, he always went higher. Kobe, same thing. Got to be same beast, but a different animal. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, we got to thrive for greater. And talking about price prediction is dog. Like when, shouts out to Corey Costa because he actually brought me up. I think he brought me up. He for sure brought me up because I didn't know AJ, but he brought me up when the writer of BitBoy Crypto was there. And I was able to like really tell the guy like, yo, this shit is like, you should really look into this. And if you want to go on my website, check out the information. You know, I have PDF documents. You could take that for your research. And then I'm slowly going to build with the guy and I'm going to get him to like, bro, like there's no way in hell if people know where to go and if people know that like, oh shit, all the info is there. That's the problem. It's like we have so much shit and it's not in one place properly explained. It's like, well, what can you do? People still come up to Hex on the. It's funny, RG. People still think we're a blockchain, and it's sad because it's not about them not knowing. It's about what do I think about 9inch? It's about one point something too much for me, but I'm joking. 9inch sounds cool. It's a DEX. It's gonna be competition. It has a cool, catchy name. Just remember, guys, DEXs are middleman dick. Pulse X is you gotta understand what it is, right? So a DEX is a way for us to provide liquidity. Now, I do see the possibility of other DEXs taking liquidity, but one of them has to be the most liquid. One of them has to have everything there, and one of them has to be the one that works. So I hope it does really well. I hope Uniswap, 1inch, 9inch. I hope Power City. I hope, everyone who tries to bring out a DEX does a really good job and is able to provide a lot of liquidity. And, if we're getting $500 million pools, there's going to be a lot of fucking liquidity. We understand this. No one in the game understands this. Go look at Uniswap. No one does this. No one literally plays the pools like we do. It's not good for aggregators that we have more than one DEX.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, of course, it's good. But at the same time, too, man, you're like, you're comparing the work of the devs of Pulse Chain to the work of random devs, and it's not to be mean. It's like I expect Pulse X to be better. Now, if 9inch does better, kudos to 9inch.
Right.
But I'm expecting better results from the one that should have the most at this point in time, the most most liquidity, but also trust. Like, how don't you trust the L1's DEX? How don't you trust the L1's bridge? How don't you trust the L1's man, what do you want more?
Well, I mean, it's great for general population. It's going to be great for competition. It's going to be great for the aggregator. It's good. It is a good thing. For me, I know what I'm using. I know what I'm going as a hexagon. I know what I'm doing. I know what I trust. I know how I'm going to be interacting with the chain. I've never had to shill anything else because I've never bought into anything else. Richard has taken care of me just fine with the products that he's made. So I've never worried about anything else or getting into anything else, trying to diversify my bags anywhere else, because I know that these are going to be successful, and that's enough for me. I don't need to go try and scrape off some percentages here and there. And if you do, more power to you. But the the solid play is what Richard Hart has put out there in front of us.
It's a very good play. In my opinion, there has to be a very good play. And if you trust other things more than that, that's okay. Because you know what, RG? Let's call a spade a spade. Hexicans do good job. So we gotta at least allow people to make the decision for themselves, because whether we like it or not, people are invested in certain projects that are going to do very well, that are going to be the competition. Competition is good for capitalism, blah, 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 blah. But I do want them to understand that there is risks involved, whether you're using Pulse X or whether you're using Portal X, 9-inch, or any other DEX that's been created. Now, it's important for you to also understand what is profiting you the most to use. So like if you're a Pulse X, Pulse Chain sacrificer, it is very profitable for you to use Pulse X DApp. Why? Well, because you're helping your tokenomics, right? Now, if you're a Power City sacrificer, you know, it's important for people to understand what is going to be profitable for you if you're willing to make if you're willing to allow 5 years of development. You know, if you're 5 years from now, you say Power City, 5 years of uptime, 100%, blah, blah, blah. You get these perks like Hex has right now. How fucking awesome is it to say 100% uptime, no admin keys, like all the perks of good work, not just like, oh, 100% uptime, or yeah, we have this, we have Richard Hart. No. It's the actual facts. It's like we do good work. We have good results. So if at the end of the day, they do provide good results, well, the only people you could blame for these good results are the people that used it. So if you're an investor in something and you don't use it, how useful are you? You're not really useful. So yes, guys, you know, learn what you need to do. Learn how you could profit from it. I'm not saying you need to. I'm saying you can. There is the possibility. You might not get the most of the gains, but don't be a greedy motherfucker. Be a very, very good, intelligent human being who understands its opportunity cost. If you're invested in something, why not use it? But if it's profitable for you to use something else, then think about it. You're your own bank. Expenses, revenue. This is how it works. I know I'm young, but I got a lot of experience, guys, and I love making money, right? And crypto or an IRL, and it's very important to take the time. If you want to be sovereign, if you want to be your own bank, you need to take the time to understand what is going to profit you before other people. And you utilizing certain dApps, certain coins might not be profitable. It might be riskier. It might be less profitable. If the most liquid coin that's paired to everything does very well, we know Hart's law. So your coin could go down in ratio, but it can still go up in price. So, everyone needs to understand a bit more about that. And I'm not shitting on anything that Hexicans create. If it's good, good for you. If it sucks, I don't know why you did it. You wasted your time. When you come to the Hexicans, you got to put your 100% effort, right? And you take it like a man when you make a mistake and you fix it, right? Getting up when you fall down shows true courage, shows true success, is being able to fall and get back up. So as Hexicans, we need to remember that. And I don't like shitting on people, RG. Like I like it to be a Hexican, good cup, bad cup. I am myself in spaces, but sometimes, I really do believe that the Hexicans are going to do good products, man.
Oh, yeah.
I really think they're going to do it.
I'm excited about all of the projects that I'm taking a deeper dive into right now, like Power City, of course, Hedron. I mean, when we go on this DeFi tour, I can't wait to meet all you Hexicans. So those of you who don't know, we're touring the U.S. I'm going to be doing DeFi stops. Dublin, California is the first stop here on the 26th, I believe. So if you haven't got your tickets yet, go to pulsechaintour.com. And we got VIP tickets there still on sale. We've got just regular admission. Bring your onboards there. We're going to help onboard people. I'm not going to make it real confusing. We're going to have some talks from some other Hexicans are going to be there. You're going to get to deep dive with us afterwards or before. We're going to have like a meet and greet social, and then afterwards we're going to have a VIP dinner. So if you want to get into depth about different strategies and things like that, but I'm going to keep it real simple and talk to the new person, talk to the new onboard during the presentation, talk to them about crypto, what crypto should have been like, what it was like, what it is like now, and what Hex and Pulse Chain brings to DeFi, and what that means to you as a human being, as a regular, normal, everyday Joe, and how to get in without being too afraid of it, too intimidated by it. So I'm going to keep it very simple, keep it to where your onboards will understand, but then we can have some deep conversations before and after the event too. So get your tickets. And what do we got here? He's going to play something for us. Very nice, Bullish. Thanks, buddy. So that's all the dates and all the locations that we're going to be at. Yeah, Dublin's nice. It is really nice. And it's right there in the middle of, Oaktown, San Francisco, Sacramento. It's kind of like in between. So that's why we picked that area. And yeah, so it's going to be cool. See you guys. It's on the 24th of April, not the 26th. I'm sorry. So yeah, so the 24th will be up there. SJ is going to have the Pulse Chain tour bus up there, hanging out with all you guys a day or two before. It's going to be a bunch of fun. They've got caravans going on. So if you guys don't know DJ Pollywood, he's going to be setting up a caravan. They're going to follow SJ around the country with her in the bus and take care of her, make sure she's safe, and just meet up with other Hexkins. So if you guys want to meet up with them and kind of tour into the location and then hang out and party for a day or two, yeah, man, it's available. That's what everybody's going to be doing. So we're just going to meet and greet, onboard new people, talk about DeFi, talk about Pulse Chain, because hopefully it's going to be launched by the time we're out there in a couple locations. So it'll be fun. So get your tickets and come hang out with us.
Let's fucking go, man.
Yeah. Hey, I've got to get myself rolling here too. So I know it's late for you. I'm meeting up with DC Dollar Cost Crypto, and he and I are going to stream tomorrow in his studio. So I'm going to meet up with him in Vegas here this evening, get some stuff. And man, we're excited. Hopefully maybe we wake up in the morning and we'll be launched. Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Get ready, everybody. It's coming. It's coming. Just look for the devs or find one of the women in Hex. I'm sure they know more than us. That's what it seems to be nowadays. If you're a lady, you got the 411 on when the launch is happening.
For sure, man.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Famous, appreciate you, bro. Staying up late. You're the man.
Thank you so much, man. Hey, congratulations to Discourse Syndicate for winning the shouts out to everyone who helps. I feel honored. Good job to Crypto Coffee too, because he's a one-man army, no?
Yeah, we tied with Crypto Coffee. So that, I mean, just being there next to Crypto Coffee and his stream, I mean, that was an honor and a privilege. So congratulations, Discourse Syndicate. You guys all did it. Appreciate you all, and thanks for nominating us, those of you who nominated us and voted for us. We love serving the Hex community, man. That's what we've been doing.
Versology rigged. Excellent.
He can't help it. That little troll. He can't help it. All right, guys. Thanks everybody.
Okay, guys.
See you next week. FN Hangout Friday night.
Let's go.
Let's go.